Hi, I'm Louise Rashford from LA Training Academy, Creating Salon Success. I'm here today with Karen, who is another therapist, and I'm going to let her introduce herself as always. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen. So if you want to just introduce yourself for me, please.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm Karen. I'm from Rugby, Warwickshire, and I'm a beauty therapist, holistic therapist. I've been now qualified for 10 years. It was a massive change for me. I changed career, so yeah, thoroughly enjoying it. I've got a little beauty room in Webb Ellis Court, which is a retirement village. Absolutely love it. I love the people there as well. But yeah, that's me really, and I'm making it into my room is somewhere where they can just come and relax, really, which is what I want.
Yeah, sounds perfect. It's what we're all about, isn't it? As therapists, we want people to come and feel relaxed and yeah, just especially in the world at the minute, you know, we need a little bit of relaxation. So whatever we can do to help can make all the difference, can't it, really? So everybody knows I generally start with the same sort of questions because it's nice. It's a nice way just to get to know a little bit about you. So what book are you currently reading, whether it's fiction, autobiography, personal development, whatever it is, just share a little bit if that's okay.
Yeah, I have got my book here actually.
Oh, very organised.
Oh yes, I always look into it, but it's a book on reflexology and aromatherapy. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's kind of picking up a lot of things that I'm kind of focusing on at the moment. So It's all about sort of hormones, puberty, pregnancy, menopause, etc. So yeah, it's a really interesting. I'm not really a massive book reader, but I like reading stuff like sort of kind of connects me to what I do.
I'm a bit like that. I like reading about, like, I'll often have like a big aromatherapy book and I'll just sit and read through it. And it's amazing what things you've done a course in it, but it's amazing what things you still pick up. And just listening or reading about somebody else's point of view or experiences, it can inspire you as well, can't it? If you can pass that on then to your clients as well.
Yeah, it is very interesting. And like you say about aromatherapy, you kind of pick up if somebody comes in with something, you think, oh yeah, I'll go and have a quick look. And you know, and some of the aromatherapy, obviously I've only just really started looking into aromatherapy, but yeah, some of it, and I've been having some amazing feedback from it. But I think because I'm so enthusiastic about it, oh, try this, and you know, and it does kind of do what it says on the bottle, really.
I think that is key. Like, the more enthusiastic you are, and obviously it's genuine, it's not just saying it, the more enthusiastic you are and the more experiences you've had with aromatherapy or whatever treatment it is, it does make a big difference. So who inspires you? It could be anybody, family, friends, you know, celebrities, whatever. Who would you say you feel inspired by?
Definitely my daughter. She inspires me every day, to be honest. She's amazing, really. I mean, when she went off to, I was a single parent, and I was still a single parent when she went to uni. So yeah, she went off at 18, and you know, it's nearly 10 years now since she's been gone, and she just amazes me every day of what she's achieved. You know, she always manages. She goes to London on her own. She does all this, and you know, obviously, Mum always worries, but you know, she's settled now. But she's starting her own business, and it's just her way. And she tells me if I'm feeling a little bit down, or if I'm sort of like feeling a bit negative about the business, she sets me straight, and she's like, you know, you've told me that in the past, you've advised me this and advised me that. So yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I should really listen to my own advice, but it's
so
not. And she
keeps us on track.
Yeah, that's it. And she just, you know, when like you a lot of people say, well, look how far you've actually come from, you know, from 10 years ago when I did start off doing mobile, and then had that little bit of a break. I was still doing some, but to look back on the 2 years and to think what I've actually achieved is amazing, really. And when I look on it, I think, oh, but I've even grown from then. And she makes me see that, and she inspires me to kind of just keep going, Mom. You know, it's going to happen. And And then there's you, Louisa. You inspire me as well for where you've got to. And you know, every day you kind of you've always got this lovely way about you. You're bubbly, you're easy to talk to. You're a very open person. You know, if you're down or if you've had something sort of happen, you know, you're honest. I'm not going to be around for a bit, and you know, and that I think that's good as well, because that's what you need. Is you need sort of people, you can see that it's okay to have some time out, and just what you've achieved as well from, you know, from when you say what you used to do and seeing your salon and how your spa's grown, and I just think it's just looking up to these people, I think. And yes, there are some kind of famous people that inspire me, but I think in this world, you know, people like you inspire me more, and my daughter. You know, you carry on as well. You have your bad days, of course, everybody does, but I mean, you look what you've achieved, and I think I look back at what I've achieved and I think, yeah. And you know, just sort of doing sort of workshops and that, and all the support that you get from your membership, and I just think it inspires me to keep going. You know, you've got Maria, you've got Lindsay, and what they do, you know, they have their bad days, but you know, it keeps me going. And I love the fact that you get everybody involved as well, and you know, it's your own little sort of group, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a little community, isn't it? And not to sound very cult-like, but you know, it's great to surround yourself with like-minded people, and we're all in the same boat at the end of the day. We're all at different levels, and I think that's what's great, because you know, people will pull you along, and then you know, you'll come out with something. And I think sometimes we forget to give ourselves credit, like you say, on where you've actually come from, and then where you are now. You know, you're at different stages to other people, but you can be further on in some aspects of your business than they are. And then, you know, like you said, we all have down days. So when you're not motivated to do your social media or your whatever, and then you see somebody else has, you're sort of like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And, you know, you're dragging yourself along. And then when you do it, you do become a little bit more motivated, and you think, oh, I'm so glad I did that. And then it's a sense of achievement, and we need people to pull us along and inspire us. And you know, it's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think with you as well, I always find, and my daughter as well, I mean, she does a lot of social, she's done that at uni, but you know, it's okay to have two people just like your post. You know, I've looked at these, like even my friends, you know, the amount of people that they're in different groups, so they have a lot of people liking their posts. And the same with some of the beauty businesses in rugby, and that, you know, when you've seen that sort of, they get like 50 to 100 likes, and you think, oh, you know, and that really, and I just think, Karen, you know, it's not all about that. My daughter kind of brings me back down to earth. Mum, she said, you look at what they, you know, who's looked at your post. Doesn't mean to say it's like, doesn't mean to say that they don't like it. Doesn't mean to say,
it's true. We need to focus on the insights and look at the bigger picture. And it's amazing. And I know we've spoken before that you've said that people have often said to you, like, oh, I've missed your post, or oh, I've seen your post, or I liked that. And you think, well, you don't physically like it, but it's surprising on who is there looking. And we never know when we finally put a post out that makes them click like, you know, you've kind of captured them then. And so it's, yeah, we've got to think at the bigger picture.
Yeah, and I think it's nice how you, like you said, it's just so natural, I suppose. It's like reality almost, isn't it? You know, you look at these big businesses and you think, well, that's just not normal. And yeah, that's what I like. I just like the how it is, and sort of my daughter's, like I say, she inspires me, but she kind of brings me back down to kind of earth and says, look, Mum, you know, I've got so much I've got to do, and I know I have. And you know, I was quite quiet yesterday. I'm always am anyway when my daughter goes home. And she's like, Mum, and I said, I've got so much to do as well. And so she sort of thought, Mum, forget it, she didn't message me this morning. She said, well, I hope you're not still worrying about it. And no, but I just see people like yourself and like my daughter, that's more of what I want. It's more kind of, I don't want to have this massive big kind of beauty room, I suppose. I don't want loads of people, because then that stresses me out even more. I just want my regulars, and you know, I want that sort of more kind of down to earth kind of feel about things.
It's achieving that success sometimes, isn't it? And success being like a balanced life, and actually you going to work and enjoying what you do, people enjoying your services. And that's more successful sometimes than, you know, having a massive business. And not that I'm saying that you shouldn't do that, but it's what you want, isn't it? And I know you've got lots of different plans. So I don't think you've got the time to build a massive empire of a salon, because you've got too many other directions that you're heading in. But I know that's some of that's secret for now, but it's exciting. So you've got lots of things that you're doing.
Definitely. So yeah, they're my two people. And also I think, you know, I mean, I touched on it last time, but the client that I have, he's a gentleman, and you know, he's 85 and he's just amazing, and he's like really picks me up every day when I see him, and he's always telling people about my business and reflexology, and I think he inspires me anyway. He's my ideal client as well, and it's him. He picks me up, you know, when I feel a bit down, or I've gone in, and he said, oh, I've been speaking to so and so, he says they're really interested in this, and he picks me back up again. And you know, he'll go out of his way to help myself and the hairdresser, you know, to get people in and that, and he's always telling me sort of things of how to do it. But he's had an amazing life, really, and you know, he's always out there to help people, and he's a massive inspiration. You know, I want to be like him when I get old. I want to be helping people when not, you know, not older, I suppose, and it's like now that's what I want to do.
I think that's what you are all about, isn't it, from what we've spoken about. And I think it's great to take inspiration from clients, because in many ways, older, younger, when you see how beneficial you are to them, that's inspiring to you, because it makes you want to do that more, doesn't it? And I know how passionate you are about helping others. So tell us a little bit about your passions in your business, because I know that you've gone in a few different directions, like from the start, and I know that you are changing. So tell everybody sort of where you're at in your business and where your passions lie now.
Okay, so my passions has always been massage from an early, when I first started and I wanted to look at doing beauty, it was massage. I wanted to do hot stones, and they said to me that you'd have to do Swedish massage first. So I was like, oh, okay. So then I did do like level 2 beauty, because that they said, oh, that's got massaging, which is pedicure and manicure, and facial as well. You know, obviously facial involves massage. And so yeah, so it kind of like built up from that. And then I got a little room. I did mobile, but then I rented a little room, and in there the lady came from a training, and she was with a hairdresser who was doing level 3, and she said to me, she says, you know, you can, you know, it was just I was in the right place at the right time, because she said, oh, you know, you can do level 3 beauty. And I says, well, no, because I'm on my own, and only me, and you know, I'm self-employed. She goes, no, you can be your own apprentice. So I was, and that's obviously introduced me to Swedish massage, Indian head, and all the like the electrical, facial, etc. And that was it. It was like, this is what I wanted to do, and I was so excited to then bring it into my beauty. But then things happened, and I ended up having to, because I was still a single parent at the time, and I know they'd brought in a new thing about bedroom tax or something, and I just couldn't afford it. And I had quite a sort of, when I spoke to the tutor, she didn't want me to go at all. She was like, no, you got to finish this. So she actually got me a job at a beauty salon in the town. So I worked there, and it was amazing, really, because it gave me that experience as well. But it also kind of directed me into wanting to do more massage, because that, you know, you did everything from waxing, nails, etc. And so yeah, so then I went and worked in an office for them 5 years, and my passion was still there. Every day I still thought about helping people. How can you help people? And so yeah, so then I opened up Just the Tonic in a beauty room, and I absolutely love it. I've set it up so it's amazing. I mean, from 2 years ago when I first started in there, but my absolute passion now is this: people walk past my room and when I've set it up ready, they just go, oh, that is amazing, that's so lovely. And even they just want to come in and just curl up on the couch. So yeah, so definitely my passion is so much massage, and even sort of, you know, when they fall asleep and they start snoring, that's makes my day, you know.
Biggest compliment.
But then I get a lot of feedback from, they don't want to fall asleep because they want to feel every kind of you know, routine, sort of, they want to feel it all. They want to feel their muscles and, you know, getting into them knots and stuff. So yeah, but I can't believe how aromatherapy has set my passion off as well. And I think listening to you, Louisa, and sort of now incorporating it into a lot of my massages to help even more, especially kind of menopause, and that has really started to obviously affect me personally now. But it's not just menopause, it's hormones as well, and knowing how you can help somebody, even sort of like, you know, an 80-year-old lady that I do, she just comes in and she loves all reflexology and that, you know, and but yeah, just trying to help these ladies and men as well. I mean, I know they don't get menopause, but midlife crisis, I think they have, don't they? Bless them.
Oh gosh, yes.
But yeah,
is amazing.
Can't help them with a new car, but or whatever they want, but I can help them to relax a bit. And I do find men get a lot out of massages as well. So, but yeah, definitely just the holistic, so even hearing that word, holistic aromatherapy, makes you feel relaxed anyway. Definitely. And, you know, and I get excited, and even, you know, about sort of when I get somebody booking online, it's like, oh, what is it? And it's a back massage, and I'm like, yes.
Oh, it's so nice, isn't it, when people book online and it's a treatment you really want to do, and if it's a new client, you start thinking like, oh right, what am I gonna, you know, you always want to get all your oils ready, but you don't know them, so it's like a new venture with that client, isn't it? And it's really important to get to know your clients, isn't it? And I know you do like aromatherapy consultations as well, don't you, to add into your treatments, which I think can set you above other salons as well, because it's a different avenue to go down. So many people just do nails or standard massage, which is obviously amazing and gorgeous, but when you start adding aromatherapy in, you can really make some changes to people. I know you've benefited with like your menopause symptoms, and we were speaking earlier about your target audiences and your target clients, and we always have like set ways of looking at them, but then you can't beat getting somebody in the door who matches you. You are in a way your target client, and right now I know you've said to me before that you want to help people with menopause symptoms and hormones, etc. And you are doing that now, aren't you? You are, it's like attracts like, you are attracting those people into your salon, aren't you?
Yeah, any hormonal kind of symptom or whatever they have, and definitely sleep. I think I'm attracting a lot of people. I don't suffer too bad with sleeping, to be fair. I do get up in the middle of the night because I always have that much water during the day. I do get up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet, but it's like, it's just relaxing. It's mine's more anxiety, so I know how it feels. And you think, you know, I had anxiety when I was a lot younger, but then I overcame it. But then now it's coming back, which is normal anyway, but all that anxiety is starting to come back, and I've actually found aromatherapy has really helped with that, with my anxiety, because it relaxes you. It's like the lady with postnatal depression that I'm starting to treat, she's found she wants to sort of relax, just take her away. She absolutely adores her children, you know, but she said she just felt so depressed, and I could relate to that, because that's how you feel during perimenopause as well. It's very strange how your hormones can really affect the whole way you think. I feel like I'm a completely different person, but I'm not. You know, when I say I just feel I don't feel it's me, and they're like, look at me as if to say, well, it is. We haven't noticed it, but I do.
Yeah.
But I find that certainly using aromatherapy oils has really helped with that, as well as putting massage into it as well, and just helping people. I've had ladies that have a lady that suffered with her sinuses, doing some reflexology on her. She was amazed. It's actually cleared a lot of her nose. And you know, again, I used oils in that. I looked it up, and she came the first time, then I knew what she wanted sort of like the next time. And I always tell them afterwards, are you okay if we use aromatherapy in the next one? And a lot of them are very keen to sort of learn about that as well, and to see what can help them. So it's just, I don't know, it's just an amazing feeling when you've done something, and you know, and I've got that buzz, and I just think, oh, just when somebody's coming, especially the elderly ladies with kind of 85-year-olds that are not sleeping, you know, and
it's
they come in
to help though, isn't it? And it's not an ego thing. It is just when it's your passion and you want to see a difference, when you are told that you're making a difference, it's job satisfaction at its best, isn't it? And so what are some key oils then that you would recommend, or that you find yourself using and recommending a lot to your customers?
Yeah, so definitely lavender. I think that's my massive, I love lavender. Anyway, because it smells gorgeous. And rosemary, I found as well, is a lovely smell. Clary sage has been a sort of like a lifesaver, I think, in as regards to some of my menopausal symptoms, like, you know, not necessarily, like I say, I don't struggle to get to sleep, but it has helped, I think, to relax me more, because it's more my anxiety than anything. And sorry about that, my phone's buzzing.
That's all right.
So clary sage, lavender, rosemary, and even funny enough, basil now that you kind of introduced me to, because it's an uplifting oil. And it's surprising how many people have actually more noticed that more, because I found that when they come in and they want to relax, first thing I say, you know, what oils do you like, or, you know, smells, and the first one they always say is lavender. But I think it's only because they're obviously not aware of the other ones and the other smells.
Lavender's very well known, isn't it? Whereas some of the others, like you say, like basil, it's not, obviously it's a well-known thing that you put in food and stuff like that, but you don't often associate it with aromatherapy, do you? And I have a lot of people comment in my salon. We often have it on in reception in the diffuser, and people will often say, oh, what's that? And oh, I've just been sat there, I feel lovely. And it's amazing how quickly aromatherapy can impact your brain, isn't it? You know,
and lemongrass, I think, is a massive one for me. I tend to use hot mitts when I'm sort of cleaning people's feet before reflexology, or refreshing people's. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it?
I knew what you meant.
So I read somewhere about lemongrass, so I always put a couple of drops on and let them know. So put some lemongrass on, so that's just, and then I wondered what that smell was. And peppermint as well. I have a lady that comes in and she has bad headaches, and she had to postpone her treatment just before I went on holiday. And I remembered, I thought, right, okay, peppermint oil. So I put some peppermint on her. I'd put a towel down by her, sort of, so she could smell it. And she was like, oh, she said, that's nice. I said, that actually helps with headaches. Oh, she said, it does, it's refreshing. And she really liked that. She said, because I'd said I'd put it on her feet, but she says, oh, I can smell that. She said, that's lovely. So just little things, I think I love finding out when somebody comes in and they say they've got this issue, or, you know, like the postnatal depression. Straight away, the next time I did some research and I found what oils were really going to help her, because straight away she said lavender. She'd been using that, but of course you're uplifting as well, which, you know, So come on, Basil.
And that's why people are coming to you, because you're going away and researching. And I think there's nothing better than, I mean, some customers, that's like customer service at its best, isn't it? Because you're treating your clients like they're, you know, almost friends that you want to help, and you're getting to know them. And I think when clients know that you actually really want to genuinely help, they want to really come back as well, and it's very impacting on your business and on their lifestyle, and then obviously on you personally when you are, you know, you want to help people, and then when you are helping people and the feedback that you get, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And you know that they just come here, and I've helped a friend of mine. She's been coming in for reflexology for a good year now, and I started chatting to her about you know, about sort of aromatherapy, how it can help, and she's just always sends me so much brilliant feedback afterwards. She says, I've had the best night's sleep. She said, I felt so relaxed, because she really struggles with her sleep, and it's brilliant really. And there's so many other people as well that are coming to me and saying, oh, I reckon my daughter or my son would probably benefit from that, because, you know, from reflexology as well. So yeah, I want to be on the map.
Absolutely. It's such a great way. You know, there's so many different little things you can do to add aromatherapy into your life, isn't there? And it's just, it can work wonders. And you think this little pot of oil or jar of oil, it's just magic. And obviously you can just use one oil, but using mixtures, and that's where obviously a professional like you come in, that you can really advise people and tailor it to their needs. So if you was going to give someone a top tip on aromatherapy and using it at home, what would you sort of, I don't know, what common thing would you say for them to do, like an oil or something, or what's a top tip?
Yeah, I think as I'm learning as I go along every day is a school day as regards to aromatherapy, definitely the top tip that I've obviously got from you, but is actually putting lavender on your bottom of your feet before you go to bed, and it calms you as well, which is a massive thing with perimenopause, etc. With your hormones, it can really mess them up. And so putting that on the bottom of your feet to try and relax. Having a little diffuser as well, and I always say either put some clary sage or sage, because sage helps with that can help with night sweats, etc., and sort of hot flashes. And I must admit I hardly get them at the moment, because I am using sage a lot more, but yeah, definitely don't be sort of, you know, ask my advice and then I can find out and just use them, because they're amazing, really. Yeah. You know, so many people say to me, oh, I've got lavender at home, but I've never used it.
I get that a lot. They go, oh, I've got loads of oils. I'm like, oh, what do you do? Oh, they're still in the packet. Why? But people don't know what to say. And
yeah, I mean, I always say as well, put some lavender on the pillow, or put it somewhere. Even my husband sleeps better now than what he used to before he used it, you know, and it's just very calming. And like I say, just have a look, you know, sort of Google and see what oils can help you. And you know, it's a fascinating. Even like I said, every day is a school day, isn't it? And even if a client came to me, she goes, "Oh, you know what? I bought that, and that really worked." Oh, really? So I look it up, and you know, and sort of what's helped them. I like to hear it and use them, because you know that's what they're there for. And
absolutely. And there is right and wrong, but you know, like I want to say, there's no right and wrong with aromatherapy. It's almost like a little bit of a, you know, practice makes perfect, but your body changes, so you go with what your body's doing, don't you? And some people say to me, oh, I can't stand lavender. Well, it's one of the most popular oils, but it doesn't mean lavender is not the whole of aromatherapy. You know, people often mistake it and think like, oh, I don't like lavender, so I don't like aromatherapy. But there's so many different oils that do as much or more or as lavender, but they all do different things. So it's so good to get, you know, professional advice from yourself, or like you say, you can Google things, but obviously just be a little bit careful with Google, because it's always good just to, you know, speak to somebody who's in the know, kind of thing, isn't it? So, okay, speaking about products and oils and things like that, if you were to go on a desert island, what skincare product would you take with you? It could be aromatherapy, it could be makeup, whatever, but what product would you have to take?
I would have to take the softest silk serum. I absolutely love it. And again, it's got essential oils in. I've always liked serums anyway, because I always find that they almost like they feel like they're really nourishing your skin. So yeah, definitely would take absolutely loads of them.
It is a really popular product, but it's not one that I've always used, but even though it is my range, but it shows you just go with what your skin needs. But I find the older I'm getting, the more I need to use it. But you know, that's life, isn't it? It is what it is. But yeah, it's definitely a very popular product. I've got it's funny because sometimes when I ask people like their favorite products of like LA Skincare, for example, and when they say the serum, I'm always like, oh, okay. It's, you know, because it's, I don't know, there's other products that I think for me I like better, but obviously everybody's different and the skin works differently. And like you say, the Soft as Silk is full of essential oils, full of rosehip oil, which is a natural retinol, lots of things that really benefit your skin, and there's so much jam packed into it. So it's rightfully a really popular product, but until you start using it, you think, oh, I'd have gone with the Plump Me Up, or, you know, but yeah, it's, but then layer those two together, Soft as Silk and Plump Me Up. Yeah. Amazing. But
yeah, I do. I do have the two. I think if I was stuck on a desert island, there'd be nobody looking at me anyway, would they? Would Plump Me Up. So it has to be the serum.
Get the smells of the aromatherapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, that's another topic. We could talk skincare all day, couldn't we? So, okay, so lockdown's obviously been and hopefully gone, but you know, not being negative. But I never thought we'd have 2, let alone 3. So hopefully we won't get another one. But who knows? But not being negative. But so during lockdown and COVID, what did you become obsessed with, if anything, like, you know, food, exercise, lots of different things? And I asked this question because it's quite interesting what people do say. I've heard some good ones. So was there anything in particular that you became a bit obsessed with during lockdown?
Yeah, I like to go for my morning walk, and it was, I think it was last year when I was doing my morning walk, I always talk to my daughter as well, and so we have a chat. And yeah, I always went around the cemetery just up the road. So my grandparents are buried there, and I always used to go up in the morning and say morning to them. And when it was Remembrance Day with the poppies, they'd put poppies next to all the service graves, and so I went round them, and there's a grave just up from my grandparents, and I noticed that his name was Horace, which was my other granddad's name. I was like, oh, so I started saying morning to him, and my daughter was like, what are you doing, Mum? And I said, I'm just saying morning to Horace. Oh, she says, okay. So then I got this little route round the cemetery, and I walked round the other side, and there was another Horace, and I was like, oh, there's another Horace here. And she was like, so I said morning to him, because they were very young, and you know, and it's quite sad, but you know, because it was my granddad's name, it kind of, you know, so I used to say morning to him, but then I felt I had to say morning to everybody then, so I used to stand there and go morning. But it came as like a routine. It was almost like I loved doing it because it's such a peaceful place anyway, and the time I used to go, there wasn't a lot of people about, and it was just really peaceful, and I always felt like, you know, you just had that connection with them because they had the names. But yeah, and I just thought you didn't want them to feel kind of lonely. So yeah, and I started doing that every morning, and it became kind of my morning routine. And even my daughter then started saying morning to them. You know, she came up the other week, and she went round, she goes, right, Mum, I'm going to go round and find these Horaces. So she did.
Well, that is definitely a new one, walking around the cemetery. But you know what? I'm sure they appreciated it, and obviously set you up for the day as well. So it's, you know,
that's it. Set me up, got me fresh air, got me walking, and it was just nice. It was like, you know, just walking through there. They're always lovely, peaceful places anyway, and you know, to sort of have that little walk now, and you know, to go to them all, and yeah, just, and then I remember there was one very scary time though, when it was October and it was Halloween, and somebody had been up there and put a pumpkin, but I took a photo because it was very misty. And so I took a photo of my daughter because I was in there, and she was like, "Oh, Mum, I can't believe you're in there at sort of, you know, in that time of morning with all this fog." So I showed her, but then we looked closely at the actual photo, and there was actually a gentleman in there who'd got a long black coat on. It looked really spooky. And she was like, "Mom," and I was like, "It's all right." He's a man with a pushchair, and he was on his phone in stops, but he did look very eerie, very spooky.
I can imagine.
Telling me to get out, but I was like, "Oh, Larissa, I'm fine." But yeah, it became, and now I just love doing it. It's just coming such a, even now I try and get up there as much as I can to go around.
I suppose it gives you a bit of an appreciation for life in a way, and obviously what we were all going through at the time, and still are to an extent. It just makes you think a bit differently, I suppose, and you know,
I think, you know, it makes you realise that life is very short, isn't it? And you have to make the most of it, and it certainly kind of pushed me along, I think, to achieve my kind of my dreams and that, because, you know, being my age, you know, time's ticking on, as they say. But you know, I've still got lots I want to achieve, and I think doing that, it just gives you that little bit of a push to, you know, life is very short on this earth, and we have to make the most of it. And yeah, just looking after myself as well, how it kind of made me feel once I'd finished the walk and that, and I just felt so much better being out there.
Like in the morning, I mean, you know, I speak about it a lot, but it is really, really good to get your mind in a good place. And I know you've got lots of ideas on your business, and you want to do lots of different things. And I think sometimes when you take a little bit of time out, it gives you a little bit of perspective and a bit of focus. And so I am really excited to, I don't want to share it because I know it's like a bit of a, you know, something in the making, but it is really exciting where you're going with your business and the different ideas that you've got. So it just shows that it's never too late, and you can always, you know, achieve those. And I know you've got a lot of support from your daughter and she's a bit of a driving force, isn't she? She really does it, come on, Mum, and but then also brings back in as well when you get a bit too excited.
Yeah, definitely. She's a diamond. She is, bless her.
It is so good. It's so good. So how would you say your business has transitioned then from lockdown? Because I know, you know, we were talking earlier, and, you know, sometimes like you said, we compare ourselves to other salons and how well things are doing, or how many likes people get on social media. And I think we forget to congratulate ourselves. And the fact that you have been doing your business for, I know it started 10 years ago, but you've really kind of honed in the last few years, and you've managed to keep it going through lockdown, through a pandemic. I think that deserves a pat on the back in itself. There's a lot of places that have closed, which is awful. Or some have just transitioned. They might have closed their premises but gone mobile, and people have done what's right for them. So what would you say has been a bit of a transition for you in your business during this time?
I think definitely lockdown, and people kind of acknowledging the fact that they need more well-being, you know, looking after themselves. I think a lot of people are looking more at massages and, you know, looking after themselves more, because obviously COVID is not a nice thing to have. And it, you know, I think it makes you realise as well how looking after yourself makes a huge impact on how you are going to face these kind of viruses, etc., and illnesses, obviously with winter fast approaching all the time. Just looking after yourself, and it makes you feel so good as well. And it's changed in that before lockdown, I started having a lot more nail clients, a lot more with sort of, you know, friends had said, "Oh, go to Karen, she does gels and da." So I was finding I was getting a lot of gel nails come in. Completely changed when I went back in, whenever it was, July, wasn't it? How people were sort of inquiring more about facials, which would, you know, that was one thing I never really did much on, and also massages. And that has completely changed the whole dynamics of my business now. And the rooms changed from 2 years ago, from when I first started, to you know, I've got butter in there now. I've got a nice like screen, but it's really is showing to be more like a spa room than, you know, so it's like a mini spa.
Well, that's where your passions
How
are.
I wanted it. Yeah.
Like we said earlier, like attracts like. So maybe, yes, I'm sure a lot of it is lockdown and people focusing on their inner health and well-being, but maybe a little bit of it is you as well, that you're putting out there to the universe, that that's what you want to attract, that's where you want to go. And you're doing all these extra courses, extra workshops. And so maybe you are actually unknowingly, it shows how powerful law of attraction can be, I think. I'm sure some of it is to do with lockdown as well, but it's great that your business is transitioning where you want it to go, really, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think, you know, I look at lockdown as a positive because, you know, you had that bit of time out where you had to sort of really step in and have a look at not just where I wanted to go. You just go with it, don't you? I just wanted to open this room and just do what, and it was like what people wanted more than what I wanted to kind of attract. So I think because I was just, everybody was saying, oh, do you do nails, do you do waxing? And I was like, yeah, you know, just to get them in. And I think it changed after the obviously this first lockdown, wasn't it? Where I was looking after myself a lot more, I think, during lockdown, which is obviously, like you say, it's attractive that now, rather than when I first opened, I just wanted people in. So it didn't matter, you know, if they wanted nails, they wanted everything. I hardly did any massages then, really. I did reflexology, but that was about it. And I think, like you say, that it's that mindset, isn't it? It's incredible how it changes everything and the dynamics. And, you know, I look back on it now, my biggest, most popular treatment now is actually reflexology.
Wow, just shows, doesn't it?
Put it out there.
Yeah, and I know that you put it all on your social media. I've seen it. You're very driven, and the impact it can have on people's life is quite powerful. And then obviously it's good for you because that's where you want to go. But I think it's really difficult. Well, before lockdown, very, very few people would ever take a step back from the business to actually look at where it's going, where you want it to go, and is it going in the right direction for you? Because you can have a business that can be successful, but if you're not fulfilled by your business, it doesn't really matter how successful it is, because you're going to start to resent and you're going to start to feel unfulfilled and then a bit down yourself because you're not following your true path. And it's because it's a big thing to say no to people, isn't it? So, you know, if we don't do nails anymore, so when we say no, we don't do nails, I still cringe saying it because I think, but you've got to stick to it. And like you said earlier, I've built a spa. If I focus all on nails, we wouldn't have the time to put into the spa. So then you've built something that's not going to work. And a business is like that. You're building it all the time, whether it's physical, actual material things, or just in yourself and the direction that you go in. It's a process, isn't it? So, you know, good on you for, you know, saying no to people and focusing on where you want it to go, and you're attracting those people, which is what you want, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think, you know, like I say, you just, when I first opened, that was it. You just wanted to get as many people in as possible. But now it completely changed, and I think it's just changed my way. And, you know, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to have like 2 people in kind of a week or something, because you're building it up, you're getting that. And don't be disheartened by kind of, you know, if only 2 people are booked in and both of them have been nails and eyebrow wax or whatever, I just then come home and I'm working on doing like a blog or doing something else. I'm always concentrating on my business. And I worked for a sandwich shop. I did part-time there, and then I had my room. But that, I was finding that was really impacting my own business, because they were swapping hours and days and that, so I couldn't book anybody in further down because I wasn't getting my shift until like the end of the month. But then of course, when you've got people coming in and they come, oh, I want to come in 4 weeks for a massage, you know, I had to keep cancelling them and that. So that
And
really,
that's not good, is it?
so that kind of really upset me. But then hubby says, Karen, just leave.
And I think it's right, because you need that time to work on your business, to work out where you're going. Otherwise, even if you're doing 2 jobs, there's no way you can focus on the business and what you want to do. You're just kind of going through the motions all the time, aren't you? And that's not healthy for you, and that's not good for your clients. And it's almost like you're just doing everything and anything. So obviously I can see you have like gone through so much to get to where you are, and you're doing absolutely amazing. What words of wisdom would you give to somebody else, like in the beauty world, in the beauty business? What would you sort of just tell somebody?
I think I would say definitely find your passion, you know, whether it is nails, whether it is, you know, massage or whatever, but find that passion. Don't let anybody sway you one way, and just go for it as well. You know, I've learned that much, that really push yourself and go for it. And yeah, you're probably going to have some days where you don't get any people, and you're going to get these kind of, you know, people that have probably cancelled and that, but just keep going. And, you know, and just remember, you are doing amazing, and, you know, look how far you've come, and, you know, and being sort of, go for it. You know, if you want to do something, do it. You know, it might not be for you, but you're not going to know until you've tried it. And try not to listen to too many negative, and don't look at other people. Don't compare yourself to other like businesses, like beauty businesses. And a lot of the time when they do put out, I'm so busy, I've got no, it's because they're not, you know.
You don't always know. It's so easy to put on social media, isn't it, how busy I am, or I'm so busy, I'm this. And good on them if they are. But yeah, I think that is amazing advice. Like, don't compare yourself, because it's so easy to do that. And it's hard not to, but you've got to stay focused on where you're at, what you want. And that is like a really solid mindset. Stay focused on where you are with that. And yeah, you can look at you. But Karen, thank you so much for coming on today. I think just listening to your journey and where you've been, where you've come from, is really inspiring in itself. And just, you know, just being able to listen to you and somebody say, you know what, stay focused, and how you've transitioned your business. And I love seeing where you're going, and I cannot wait for this time next year, because I know that you've got so many plans, and it is really exciting.